Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we will be doing math because math is very important and you guys are probably waiting for a math video. So let's get started. So we will be learning about coordinate planes. Woo! So let's get started. So what are coordinate planes? So this is what a coordinate plane looks like. So quadrants are the four sections on the coordinate plane. So this is a quadrant, this is a quadrant, this is a quadrant, and this is a quadrant. So an ordered pair is a number pair that you find on a coordinate plane. And negatives and positives. So there can be different numbers in an ordered pair. They can be positive or negative. Okay guys, so now let's actually do some practice. That was just a get to know me kind of thing, but now let's actually get to know a coordinate plane. Okay, so first let's start off with the quadrants, okay? So this right one is quadrant 1. Oops, that did not look as good as I expected it to look. Okay. So remember, this always has to be in Roman numerals. So when you're writing the quadrants, it's always got to be in Roman numerals. Okay, so this is quadrant 1. This one is quadrant 2. This is not my actual handwriting. I'm just really bad at doing this because I haven't really done like writing on a computer before, so it's not the best, but you can still read it, and that's all that matters. So this one is quadrant 3, and then this one is quadrant, let's see if I can get this right, quadrant 4. Okay? Now these numbers don't look too good, but that's okay. So all you got to remember, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. So now let's talk about negatives and positives, okay? So this side of the coordinate plane is always negative. So the right side and up is always positive, I'm so sorry. I just said negative, but I meant positive. So this side and up is always positive, and this side and down is always negative, okay? And then this 0 right here, that is called the origin, okay? So remember that. If that ever comes on a test, remember that 0 equals origin, okay? 0, origin, 0, origin, okay? Remember that. Now let's talk about the x-axis and the y-axis. So this horizontal line right here is the x-axis. So let's just write that down right here. X for x-axis, and then up here, y for the y-axis. Okay, so remember, x is the horizontal line and y is the vertical line. So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So you got to remember that if you want to do coordinate planes. Now we are going to talk about ordered pairs, okay? So an ordered pair, we already saw this, but is the two numbers when you look at a coordinate plane and you find an ordered pair, okay? So let's do positives first. So quadrant 1 is always going to be positive, okay? So how do we find an ordered pair? Okay, so if a question said, find 3, 2. So you always start off with the x-axis, okay? Only the x-axis. So since we have to find 3, 2, 3, you would get it from the x-axis. So we come from 3, and then 2, you would get it from the y-axis. So x-axis first, y-axis after the x-axis. Can't really talk today. So 3, 2, and then where do they connect? You would put the dot right here. Okay? Let's do another one. Let's try to find 5, 4. Okay, so we always start off with the x-axis. We found 5. In the y-axis, we found 4. So then we would put the dot right here. That should make sense by now. So this is how you find an ordered pair in quadrant 1. So again, 5, 4, you would just write 5. I'm not so good at this. Again, comma, 4. Okay. So now in quadrant 2. So here we learned that in quadrant 1, it is positive, positive. Both the numbers are going to be positive. But in quadrant 2, it's different, okay? So here in quadrant 2, it is negative, positive, okay? So the number will be negative, and then the second number will be positive. So if we were to find 4, 2, so we just find it the same way, okay? Here's negative 4, here's 2, you would put the dot right there, but then the way you would write it would be negative 4, comma, 2, okay? And then you would obviously put that in parentheses, okay? So that's how you would find it. Let's do one more problem for quadrant 2. So let's try to find negative 2, 6. Okay, so here is negative 2, here is 6. So now we would go all the way up to 6, here's 2, and put the dot right here. Okay, so then we would write it, parentheses, negative 2, comma, 6. I need to work on my writing on here. Okay, but you guys get it, right? Quadrant 3 now. Okay, so here it was positive, positive. Here it was negative, positive. Now, in quadrant 3, it is negative, negative. So the complete opposite of quadrant 1. Okay, so quadrant 1 was positive, positive. Quadrant 3 is negative, negative. Okay, so let's erase that. And let's find some ordered pairs. So let's try to find negative 5 and negative 6. So we have to start with the x-axis. Negative 5, negative 6 is in the y-axis. And then you would come here and you would put the dot right there. Let's do one more. Negative 2 and negative 4. So again, start off with the x-axis. You found negative 2. Negative 4 is in the y-axis, so you found it right here, and you would put the dot right here. Does that make sense? So now let's move on to quadrant 4. So here it was positive, positive. Here was negative, positive. Here was negative, negative. And here it is positive, negative. So basically you just flip-flop the ones that were in quadrant 2. So here is positive, negative. Here it was negative, positive. Okay? So let's do a few examples. So we always start off with the x-axis. So 3 and negative 5. So you found 3 here in the x-axis, and you found negative 5 here in the y-axis. So you would put the point right there. Okay, one more. So x-axis, let's do 6, and y-axis, let's do 6 again. So you found 6 here in the x-axis, you found negative 6 here in the y-axis, and you put the point right there. So we will definitely do more practice problems of coordinate planes in the upcoming videos, but now let's go to the review. And you can always come back if you have ever forgotten the negative positive ratio. for each quadrant, and you can always come back to check because all these quadrants are in Roman numerals, so that'll remind you to always put it in Roman numerals. So let's move on to the review now. So comment down below if you understand coordinate planes now. There will be a PDF or a worksheet in the description box just in case anyone wants any extra practice. There will also be a question of the day about coordinate planes. And the very first person to answer will get a heart and will get pinned and will also get a shout out in my next video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!